Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Extinguisher 10, and today we are back with more Diamondbacks franchise on MLB The Show 22. In today's episode, we are doing the off-season episode. The off-season moves. We will be going through every move until we reach the 2029 season. So starting off, we have exclusive free agents. And our rule is we can only sign one player per season. We are going to let everybody go in this case, but we do have the potential of getting a draft pick. So if we go and tender the qualifying offer, if the player declines the qualifying offer and another team signs him, we get their draft pick. We will not offer anybody a qualifying offer except for Austin Martin. If he does accept the qualifying offer, we will trade him, but there is a limit to what we can get for him. We will be looking for a prospect, but the rule will be whenever we run into this situation, in the case of an A potential player, we can trade for a maximum of one B potential prospect, or 2 C potential prospects, or 3 D potential prospects. If we do this with a B potential player, then the maximum we can trade for is 1 C potential, or 2 D potential, or, I mean, this would be a waste, but 3 F potential players. So we've got some structures so that way we won't get too much for them if we accidentally get them to sign the qualifying offer. But the idea is they don't, and we just get an extra draft pick, which not a lot of our draft picks have made the team. So this will give us one more hack at getting somebody on the team who we draft. Plus, it hasn't quite worked out for us in the past, getting a lot in there. So it's not like it's guaranteed that we're going to get a productive player versus, oh, we just traded him for an A potential guy who's going to be a stud in 5 years. So still kind of, it gives us more flexibility without letting us build up a superstar team. So here we go. We're going to tender that qualifying offer. Boom. There we go. And just looking at the free agency class here, Jose Barrios is number 1, at least as far as overall. And Austin Martin, he's right down here. He is number 9, once again, as far as overall. Oh, well, tied at 9 with about 1,000 other guys. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good on what we might get back for him. So now looking at the 40-man roster, we've got to add some guys if we don't want to lose them. And there's quite a few players here we want to keep. We're going to be looking at, let's first look at the starting pitchers, Rasmussen and Sandoval. Let's add those guys. Now that they're there, we want to add Kevin Rios, our last remaining A potential player that we could, well, potentially lose. And Carlos Garcia, let's add him too. So now that they've been added, we've got 2 spots left. And Rich Liriano, that's going to be an easy one to add. But after that, we've got a few younger B potential guys. I'm not too worried about Marcus Lofton being a C potential. It would suck to lose him, but he's not a vital part of the future. So we might just let him hang out there. But choosing between Peralta and Gonzalez, we might have to make a roster move to make sure that we can keep both of these guys. So at this point, we have 2 to 3 guys we want to add to the 40-man and only 1 spot. This is one of the few circumstances where we can make a trade. So let's see what we can find. Oh, and while we were advancing, it looks like Austin Martin did indeed sign a contract. And yeah, just as we suspected, he signed quite the lucrative deal. 6 years, $99 million. Yes, he got 16.5 per year, which is about $4 million less than he would have on the qualifying offer, but that was 1 year versus 6. I'd say he made out quite well for himself. All right, we've got ourselves a trade put together that will dump some guys off the 40-man and solve our problem right here. So Marcus Lofton, one of the guys we were concerned about keeping on the 40-man, along with Ruben Gonzalez, both of these guys, we wanted to keep them, but it looks like we can't, and already I think we found a spot for them where they will get playing time, if not right away, right away. So looking at the outfield situation that Marcus Loftus, oh, sorry, it's not Lofton, it's Loftus, that Marcus Loftus would be facing. And yeah, he just plays all 3 outfield positions. So he's a, just based off of overall, he's a 74 overall. That would immediately make him the highest rated left fielder. And just to make sure that there's not any other outfielders that would take that spot for him. In center, you have Lonnie White, but nobody even in the 70s underneath him. And then in right field, you have Connor Scott at 81 and Nick Decker at 75. So yeah, potentially he would be the 4th outfielder. But looking here at Connor Scott, he actually is on the last year of his deal. And the Pirates are not known for spending a lot of money. So even if he's a 4th outfielder, maybe a DH, because their infield is thin. So he could still potentially get in the starting lineup. And even after this year, the odds are even higher with Connor Scott probably going away. Plus, he's younger than everybody who is ahead of him in overall. So he'll probably progress into a spot even if they keep Connor Scott. So that gives them a starting outfielder. Now looking at Ruben Gonzalez. He is a 75 overall, which would tie him with 3 other guys for the last spot in that rotation, assuming that they decided to put him in the rotation right away. Both these guys have minor league options, so they don't even necessarily have to get called up, but there's a good shot that he could make the rotation immediately. And with his B potential and based off of age, he could easily make his way into the number 2 spot in the rotation. And even though that it said that that was enough, in fact, we'll remove Tom. It says, we're definitely interested in making this deal. I didn't feel quite right about that. I wanted to overpay because Fernando Valencia is a good-looking prospect. So I wanted to give them something else that could potentially be used right now and will also give them full control. So Tom Koo, left-handed reliever, still has options. He's been in the minors, so he's already used 1 option. He'll have 1 more option if they keep him down, but immediately 76 overall, that places him, let's go to relievers, as their 2nd best reliever. And if you add closing pitchers in, that makes him tied for the 3rd best reliever on this staff. So immediately they're going to have guys who are going to progress and who are going to progress a decent amount. Tom Koo having probably the lowest ceiling, but immediately is going to be one of the best guys in their bullpen. Somebody who's going to immediately probably make the bullpen, and probably as late as next year will make the rotation. That's assuming that he doesn't make it this year right away, and will climb the charts probably to the number 2 spot, I would say. And then Marcus Lofton, he should be a starting outfielder for them for probably 5 of the next 6 years. So essentially 3 starters of one sort or another in exchange. Yes, it is for a good prospect, but I think the haul that they are getting is fair. And let's see here, Fernando Valencia, 18 years old, is a potential, but I think they can give him up because they've got control over these 2 catchers for a good chunk of time, as well as Johnny McDonald down here, who is a minor league all-star. So they're giving up a star, but they are getting 3 starters, and I think this is really kind of the Pittsburgh way. You give up a little bit and you get a lot back. So I feel okay about this. Let's make this trade. And there we go. So now at this point, we really only have Peralta here who we want to add to the 40-man. And being we got rid of some guys who were already on the 40-man or potentially going on there, we have actually 2 open spots. So let's grab Peralta. And, oh, yes, we know. And then we'll be done with this. And on second thought, I kind of felt a little bad about getting what I got. Even though I gave them quite a bit, I think I'm going to give them a little bit more. So I'm giving them Cam Corsi, which, yeah, he's 30 years old. He's in his prime. but he has full control for his entire career because he hasn't been called up yet. And he's versatile, plays second base, third base, shortstop, left field, right field, and immediately he might make their team. And then really the more of the prize of this second trade, it is Nigel Torres, 26 years old, 71 overall. Once again, looking at their relief pitchers, he's going to blend in with several guys. I don't know if he'll make the big leagues this year, but he hasn't been called up. They have full control, so they can use him for quite a long time. So they're getting quite a bit of major league players in exchange for one minor leaguer. And I am taking Johnny here. Well, he's not very good. Where did he go? I think I passed him. There we go. He's he's their third worst reliever. Really, I just took him because he was young. And, well, he actually had a contract that was signed. So, yeah, 57 overall, D potential, not worth anything. Really just somebody to fill out the roster at AA. And Jose Barrios finally signed, and maybe I should have offered him a deal. He got way more than I expected. He got $24.1 million per year over 5 years. That is a huge contract. I should have made him the offer, but I didn't. So there you go. And our old friend Josh Rojas going to the Guardians for $6 million a year over 3 years, 18 total. Of course, that 190 average is only over like 10 games or something that he had last year. He's been pretty much marinating in the minors, so hopefully he gets more action with Cleveland. And here we are in spring training, and we're still, even after losing some pretty good players, we're still ranked first overall, first in contact, first in pitching. I believe our power and defense were fourth before, so that stayed the same. I think we were number one in speed before, maybe. Well, anyway, we're second now, so pretty much treading water. So, yeah, we're ready to go. And with all that being said, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow with the season debut of 2029. This is Extinguisher 10 signing out. Have a great rest of your day.